Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 1Game1Life. My name is Typo, and this is The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, part 268. And this will be the end, at least for a while. This will be our last episode for 99% completion. There's a couple things that, if you want to leave a comment, I might be able to do, and like these two here, that I just don't even know how to go on to the next part. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know if you'd like to see me do an episode where we finish those up in the Shivering Isles. So, I got all of our skills ready to go. They're all prepped. They're all primed. It took me over an hour and a half of swimming and running around Tamriel to get our athletics to where it is. That is insane to me, but we got there.
Look, I'm honored to speak to the champion of Citadel. What do you need?
I decided we will stay in the material plane. Sorry. There is, canonically we know, in Skyrim, that Sheogorath comes back.
Some of my fine wares.
And Xander won't be dead by then, because he's a vampire lord who just won't die in combat, right? So he's not gonna age out. He's not gonna die in combat off screen. So he's still gonna be alive, but he's not Sheogorath by Skyrim. So the real Sheogorath will obviously come back at some point in the next 200 years. So we're going to have to post up in the current world, I guess you could say. Let's go ahead and finish selling everything.
A fine transaction.
And that'll be a wrap for
That's a fair deal.
Money-wise, we'll get to see how much money we made over the course of the entire playthrough.
You got a...
It's going to be close to 1.2 million gold over the course of the playthrough. And there it is. Negotiation, bargaining, dickering, haggling, they're all a means to an end. Getting the best price for your goods. You are now a master of mercantile. All shops in the world now have 500 more gold available for barter. Look at that! That's actually big. That would have been nice to have for a while, but that's alright.
An excellent...
Alright, we don't need to sell any ingredients. I'm sure we can use those over in the next 200 years, right? Just sell the things we definitely don't need.
That seems a fair.
110 points sounds like so much damage, but it's at this point it's really not. Yeah, you can keep the love letter. We don't need that. Flame Atronach, no, we can just do that. And we are just about done selling stuff, and then we'll be able to move on to going to get our Speechcraft 200. And then I did go, during all of our athletics, I did go and pick up Shadowmere from Shadenhall. So we knocked that out. Oh, those are grand. Let's keep those. So Shadowmere is waiting to take us over to the tower, where we can wrap everything up there. But I just wanted to get this final episode in so that we can settle Xander down.
Seems a fair price.
For
Thank you.
The canonical version of our world for Skyrim to continue. Like I said, I'm going to have Xander Stormborn take over. He's going to post up over here long term at Frostcrag Spire. And he's probably going to start up a bit of a... not a cult, I guess, but a following where he searches for more power, how to become a permanent Daedric Prince or something along those lines. And he'll probably start to have offspring with multiple women to try to have offspring that are powerful as he is. Well, not as powerful as he is, because that would threaten his power, but,
There's no
powerful still.
For you, of course.
We've already convinced this Imperial Guard we're the bomb.
Speak. Take your time.
And that one.
Move along.
We have to find a different one. How about you?
Excuse me. Certainly.
This one already loves us. I told you we already did a lot of speechcraft in the Imperial City, impressing all the guards.
Make it.
Here we go.
Where'd you get that?
That's good.
Where'd you get that?
That's good.
Where'd you get that? I like you. Where'd you get that?
Okay, hold up.
Thank you. You're too
There it is. Persuasion, wheedling, cajoling, and coercing are all tools of speechcraft. They are tools you seek to excel in. You are now a master of speechcraft. When trying to persuade a character, bribery costs half of what it would normally. That's not even a thing we use, but okay. Sure, if you say so. And athletics is so close, and yet so far at the same time. Let's go ahead and grab Shadowmere. I know we're not going to get any athletics experience while we're on Shadowmere, but that's alright. And we're going to head on over while we talk about our plans for the future. If you're not interested in the canonical plans of the future for us playing through Skyrim, then I guess this is a wrap right here. I mean, there's nothing else to say. We've completed everything except for 2 random quests in the Shivering Isles that I'm not even sure how to finish, other than the one where it's just like one of every ingredient, and that is the most taxing and unnecessary quest I've ever heard of in my life. There's our mountain right there. As you can see, Shadowmere is supposed to be like this super fast horse, yet Shadowmere is slower than Xander is. That's how fast Xander is. Not by too much, but definitely slower. This is going to be a slow swim, isn't it? I just saw a Nirnroot, didn't I? Oh boy. I'm just going to hit Q and let this move forward for a little bit. Alright. So, yeah, I wanted Xander to start up some kind of, not necessarily a cult, but a following, where he has children with multiple different races, giving us character options in Skyrim. And I was thinking that for the next 200 years, he's going to seek out power, like he always has. But now he has a safe place to do it from. He's a listener of the Dark Brotherhood. He's an archmage of the Mages Guild. He's the master of the Fighters Guild. He has all sources of income. He has powerful connections. He's the champion of Cyrodiil, so even politically he has sway. He has everything you could really want in his position. And worst case scenario, he can go to the Shivering Isles and know that he's the Duke of Mania. Worst case. Best case scenario, he still has the powers of Sheogorath. So he's set to be able to just sit in one place for a while and just gather resources, gather connections, and really get himself ready for the future. Sorry about the delays. I'm not feeling well today, but I wasn't going to not record this. Sorry if that's unprofessional or whatever, but you know, whatever. So for Skyrim, I was thinking we could play a child who ran away from Xander Stormborn, and he's like away from the family. He was probably will have Xander Stormborn be the father of whatever character we play in Skyrim, and our character in Skyrim is going to try to make connections, but also just kind of hide out and not get rediscovered by Xander. And then we'll see how it goes from there, where this runaway child tries to make a name for himself. I might not go with that. I might go more with a Xander sent him to influence political events in Skyrim, which could also work out pretty well. But definitely do something along those lines where it connects to our character Xander from here in Oblivion. It has been almost 2 years since we started recording Oblivion episodes. We've recorded about a video every other day on average since we started almost 2 years ago. The game is just that massive. There's 185 hours played, if you're curious as to our playtime here in Oblivion. The music is incredible. It gets you involved, and at worst case, the music doesn't interrupt. Never was the music bad. Sometimes it was fantastic. Never was it bad. I would say it's a solid score to the game. Uh-oh. Can Shadowmere climb this? No way. That seems absurd. We would never be able to climb this, but it seems Shadowmere can. Shadowmere's special like that. Okay, Shadowmere, I see you. Here's the advantage to riding a horse. I was originally bringing Shadowmere because it's a status symbol, as well as it allows Xander to live the life more. Again, he is aspiring to lead the good life, right? So having a horse carry him around instead of him having to do the running himself now that he's in peak shape and he doesn't need to do it so much anymore to stay in peak shape. I figured having a horse just made sense. And then, you know, if his following ever needs a horse, they can always borrow Shadowmere. He'll probably get his hands on more horses. He's got the money. That's another thing. He's got the money. We ended the game with 1,169,253 gold. We could afford... We could literally kill everyone in Cyrodiil and pay the bounty off. Like... because they're so cheap on the bounty prices for killing people, we could literally kill 1,169 people before we ran out of cash. That's crazy. Insane, even. Let's take a look at our total numbers, speaking of. 185 days passed in this playthrough. Just over 6 months. Just over. We have 6 active quests, but really that's 2. There's just 4 that never go away. 228 quests completed in those 185 days. More than 1 a day. Crazy. We still have 1 expert skill, but that's our athletics. We're going to work on that. Obviously, we're going to finish that today. 194 fame, 49 infamy. Sorry, we stole over 3,000 items. 491 assaults, 32 murders. That's a low count, actually. Not too bad. We killed 5,341 creatures and 2,220 people for a total of 7,561 kills. Over 7,500 kills in those 185 days. Whew, that's over 40 kills a day. Between creatures and people, over 40 kills a day. Xander's out here ending lives. Found 429 places, picked 1,104 locks, over 1,100 locks, broke 546 lockpicks. That stopped after we started using the skeleton key. That's a lot of broken lockpicks, though. 659 souls trapped, 14 ingredients eaten, 1,124 potions made. We closed 54 Oblivion gates. There were a couple we didn't discover before we closed them all, so that probably could have been higher. Maybe to 60. We own no horses. Not true. We own Shadowmere. 8 houses. Every house we could. Invested in some stores. Why not? Read over 400 books in 185 days. 36 skill books. Found all 15 Daedric artifacts. Slept for 1,104 hours. We actually picked the exact same amount of locks as we slept. Huh. So we picked 6 locks a day? I just realized we picked 6 locks a day in this game. That's wild. And we lived all but the first 24 days as a vampire. And it was completely by accident. I originally wasn't going to make him a vampire, but 24 days in, we became a vampire accidentally, and then boom, there it is. And we only wasted 8 hours. If you don't count sleeping as wasted hours. We only waited 8 hours. There was only 8 in-game hours we weren't doing something productive. 53 necks bitten. So we bite a neck every 3 days or so. We'll see. Over 3,000 jokes told to level Speechcraft to 100. That's so many. And we found 137 Nirnroot, which is also a healthy number. So that's great. I'm going to love looking back on that a few years from now. Sorry if you weren't interested in that, but I will definitely be happy I recorded that. Come on, Shadowmere, keep doing your thing. It's on our compass now, so we are right there. Once Shadowmere makes it to the Spire, we'll leave him outside, obviously. And we can start getting athletics experience again. So, here we are. With our grand view over Cyrodiil. The place we have conquered, including the Shivering Door. In the... what is it called? In the Nibbin Bay. I should have known that, actually. I'm pretty sure we've heard that. Shadowmere up the stairs. We'll have Shadowmere chill out right here. Thanks, Shadowmere. Look at him. Damn. Looks sick. We have an even better view up there, actually. So let's go get that. Look at Frostcrag Spire. I mean, we always have Breville right there if we need to feed on some necks. It's very close by. We just need to go down this mountain and up this mountain. And it's very defendable, obviously. Not a lot of places to attack us here. It's a shame that Storm Atronach never went away, but it is what it is. All of our important books. Yeah, he'll work on spell making. He'll work on enchanting. The Tome of Unlife he might be able to get into. Just because you're a vampire doesn't mean you can't be a lich, right? Maybe. Maybe you're already undead, so you actually can't? I'm actually not sure. Let's go down to the vaults. Drop off our excess healing potions and stuff. Whoops. And our excess weapons and armor that we don't need. So here's where a lot of our valuable weapons and armor are. Sanguine Rose, Skull of Corruptions, Staff of Sheogorath will keep on us. The Wabbajack. Yeah, Shadow Hunt, we don't use bows anymore, but we'll keep one on us just in case. Yeah. The Dark Seducer armor and helmet we decided to keep. I figured that would be like a very suiting look for somebody down the line, but I guess, I don't know. We didn't run out of inventory problems, so it wasn't a problem. But we've been collecting cool armors the whole game. Sheogorath's Regalia, again, put that in there, for sure. And put the Amulet of Axes in there, yeah. Alright, and then here are the potions. One of these has potions. There it is. So 114 strong potions of healing would make it 800 in there. That would feel satisfying, I think. 118. 118? Wait, did I already lose the number? 114? Wait a minute. It was 114. Okay. 800, and then 50 more strong potions of sorcery if we have it. We don't. We have. We'll put 25 in there. And there we go. Now for his following in the future, he has 800 strong potions of healing and 175 strong potions of sorcery, just ready to go. Should probably leave the Marla Stones in there as well, other than a few to keep on him. We'll put 16 in there. No, we'll put 15 in there, and then he'll keep 6 on himself. Yeah, that'll work. And of course the Sigil Stones. This is just stuck on us, I guess. Do a final repair. Make sure everything's in perfect condition before we wrap up here. Here we go. Okay. It really is ending, isn't it? The graphics, of course, are, you know, they're Bethesda. They're fine. Sometimes the game did manage to be beautiful, though, despite it all. I feel like we could build an upper ring here, maybe. I feel like that's definitely possible. There's ways we can expand Frostbreak Spire over the next 200 years, no doubt. And then we do have access to every single city, which is super powerful in of itself. It's snowing, apparently. So, fall damage is something that Xander would have to worry about. But not too much. It's not like it's an amount that would kill him. What is this? I don't think I ever noticed this. I don't think I did. Huh. There's little fireplaces out here. I did not realize that. Alright. I was hoping for a better view, but it looks like it's clogged. It's fogged over. You guys have seen it before. Yeah. We're just pumping out athletics now, and then we truly are done. Xander has done it. That 100 athletics is going to feel so good, by the way. Whoa. So those are my plans. Vampire cult family, led by Xander Stormborn for the next 200 years. Most influential figure in all of Cyrodiil, as well as the second most influential, maybe the most influential figure in the Shivering Isles. And 200 years from now, Sheogorath will be back, the true one, not us. And so we'll have to have our own plan from there. And so we talked about the sound, we talked about the graphics. The story was, you know, it's Oblivion. It was fine, I guess. For a Bethesda game, it was fine. It was probably on par with Skyrim story-wise. The execution of it was obviously better in Skyrim, but it was 5 years later. They had, you know, they were just better at it. But the story itself, if just written down on a book and not experienced as the player, I'd say is on par with Skyrim's story, sure. Maybe just short. It'd be close, though. Out of all the guild quest lines, I at first wanted to say Dark Brotherhood was my favorite, but there was that real lull in the middle that was really not fun. But the Mages Guild had a lull where you had to even get into the guild. The Fighters Guild had a lull during most of it, honestly. The Thieves Guild never truly picked up until the end. So yeah, you know what? I will say it. Dark Brotherhood was the best quest line. It did have a moment where it lulled and it wasn't as fun. But for the most part, the Dark Brotherhood was a very satisfying quest line that I enjoyed a lot. And so I think I'm going to go with that was my favorite quest. Followed by Mages Guild, followed by Thieves Guild, followed by Fighters Guild. Fighters Guild was definitely the least interesting to me. And the reason I would say Mages Guild is better is because just the whole feeling of it all. I'm a teacher in real life. I love universities, academies, places of learning. And I think the Arcane University just does it for me, like, on a biased level. That'd be my guess. But the fact we got an Elder Scroll with the Thieves Guild is pretty sick. The gameplay, I don't know why the combat was fun for me for over 200 episodes. It's not the greatest combat system in the world. And if someone said they hated Oblivion combat, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can definitely see it. Yeah, it's not that good, is it? But for some reason, some subjective part of me enjoyed it for the most part. Until we became invincible. Then it just became, you know, let's cut this guy down, cut this guy down, cut this guy down. But until that, it was all just kind of the same. Let's go take a view on what this bridge looks like and what this other mountain peak looks like. So that's gameplay, sound, graphics, design. The forest sometimes, when I was running through the forest, those were some of the greatest views, to be honest. The characters were, you know, there were some characters that were pretty enjoyable, but like no one other than Sheogorath himself really popped to my head as someone who's entertaining. Oh, except for Daius in the Shivering Isles. Daius blew my mind. And there it is. Why walk when you can run has always been your motto. Now the miles of running and hours of swimming have paid off. You are a master of athletics. Running never reduces your rate of fatigue regeneration. So you can get fatigue back while running. Yeah, we're in great shape, but then, I mean, imagine being able to just run forever. Alright. We can still go this way, because I still want to talk just for a second here. But yeah, none of the characters really drew me in too much, except for Daius. Everything Daius said had me on the edge of my seat. Right at the end here, I think part 266? Either that or 265 is when we talked to Daius. Whew, that guy had me. Many times. I was like, what? Look at that view. The Imperial City. So hype. It is weird that we can't see Frostcraig's Spire until we get closer. I wish that wasn't a thing. The draw distance, even on max settings, is so low in Oblivion. And if I recall, Skyrim is the same way, but like there's not even like a skybox like thing for the Spire. Look, it's just not there, and then hold up, here it comes. Any day now. Boom! It exists. You had to get so close for it to exist. That's crazy to me. So that part, not so great, but you know. A lot of the side quests were meh. A lot of, on paper, it looks like a lot of it should be meh, but I really enjoyed it anyway. It was a fun ride, and the longest ride I've ever had on this channel, so if for some reason you joined me on all of these episodes and you're still here with me now, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining Xander and I on this journey. It's been an absolute ride. What a ride. It took forever, but we got there. 100 in every single skill. 100 in every trait except for personality and luck. Damn. Level 50. And every quest done except for 2 that I'm not sure how to tackle in the Shivering Isles without just running around everywhere picking up everything I find. So if you want to leave a comment and help me finish those, I would gladly accept your help. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on this journey in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion with Xander Stormborn. This has been a chapter in my life that I will remember. Maybe not all the details, you know my memory, but we will make it. I will remember at least bits and pieces of it and how I felt during this playthrough. Thank you again so much for watching. And what a ride. It's been a very, very long ride. Thank you so much again. And if for some reason you're still here, I'll see all of you, hopefully, for the next one. Goodbye, Oblivion.